Hello, friends. Welcome back to another new episode under the Ask a Friend series in Simplified Parenting and Emotionally Healthy Child podcast show. And I'm your host, Suhasni from Mommy Show Musings. How are you all today? In today's episode, let's talk about sharing. Yes, we all know that sharing is the most important life lesson which we want to teach our kids at the young age itself, isn't it? We all know that sharing is caring and it needs to be, taught to children. But let us just come back to reality. When we leave our young kids or the toddlers in a room full of toys, they will only gravitate towards that particular toy which their friend is playing or their sibling is playing it with. You would have observed it multiple times, isn't it? And then there starts the World War Three between the two kids. Of course, that World War Three is in their viewpoint, not in the adult's viewpoint. And then we have to jump in to save the day. We need to convince both one of the kids or both the kids, which we miserably fail most of the times, as the kids will not be willing to listen to us. Even if they listen to us, they'll be in a grumpy mood, throwing temper tantrums, which will drain our energy till the time another toy catches their fancy. And the moment these guys starts playing with that particular toy, the other friend will start coming towards this toy, and then again the saga continues. As parents, will always wonder when this entire rituals will get over. When will my child learn to share? Where are we going wrong with the while teaching this very basic life lesson to our kids? When how will they survive in future if they don't know how to share? Blah blah blah. Isn't it? But honestly, tell me, my dear friends, we all learned to share in our lives, isn't it? But do you remember when we learned it? Silence. Because you think that, yeah, we learned it in childhood itself, but no, none of us learned it in during the toddler years, that is 1 to 3 years. We would have learned only after entering into grade 1 or reaching around 4 5 years of age. Till that time, even our parents struggled a lot to resolve these sharing issues that keep arising between our friends or with our siblings. Have you ever wondered why? Now, as a child psychologist, I'm going to tell you why this happens. During the toddlerhood, kids are learning about a sense of ownership and a sense of time. For them, a toy going out of their hands, even within the same room, means it's lost forever. They cannot fathom the principle that yes, that they can get hold of the toy at a later point of time, because that later doesn't exist in that world. So for them it's gone forever. And even if as a parent, if you tell them that let that other boy or girl play for 5 minutes and he'll return it back to you, they don't understand what that 5 minutes means. For them 5 minutes is forever, infinity. So no wonder all these toddlers and the young children keep throwing temper tantrums and they don't want to share. So for them, as long as they see it's there, it's theirs. They hold it, it's automatically it will become theirs, and they'll not be willing to part with it. They might put it to a side, but somebody else comes and touches it, it will become a big issue for them. So if I tell this, obviously you parents, or even as a parent, when I was at that, when my child was at that age, will wonder why my child is doing all these things only outside the house. In the house, he was sharing everything with me. Even with my own child, he was sharing happily with me, with his dad, or with the other members of the family. But once when he steps out into the park or into a play date, he will not be willing to share. So, my dear friends, to give you the answer for this question, I need to wear the Sherlock Holmes hat and say, it's so simple, my dear Watson. Here, you can replace Watson with your friends, isn't it? Not able to understand? Yes, I'll tell you. I told you earlier that the kids doesn't are developing the sense of ownership, sense of time, and sense of individualism, everything, right? They're still developing. Their brain is still developing. And for them, you as a mom or dad or the primary caregiver is just an extension of their body. So for them, you if you're playing with a toy, they think that it's theirs only. They don't differentiate you as a separate individual. So for them, yes, my part of body is playing, so it's mine. So that is the reason why they keep And they'll be happy to share things with you. Even for that matter, if they have some elder siblings at home, they'll be happy to share with elder siblings as long as those toys, everything is within the boundary of the house, because they know all the people in the house or extensions of their own self body. Only after they reach their milestone birthday, that is the first birthday, they'll start differentiating different people as different individuals. That yes, mom is a different individual, dad is a different individual, sibling, elder sibling, that is brother or a sister, is a different individual, and this toddler is also another individual. But still, those boundaries are still kind of confusing for them, so that is the reason why they don't mind sharing within the premises of the house with anybody, that is with the close knit family members. So that is the reason why they'll be sharing willingly with you and not with others. We need to have some patience to teach the concept of sharing with our younger ones. We can use the elder siblings as the role models to share, to teach this concept. If younger one, if you're the current younger child is your first one or the only child, we have to only resort to stories and the role plays to teach the concept of sharing to them. But a word of caution here, my dear friends, don't make your child share toys in a forceful manner. Because the moment you start asking them to share toys in a forceful manner, they tend to internalize some of the negative feelings and start developing negative traits, which we want to avoid when they grow a little older. So now you might be asking, what are those negative feelings or the negative traits? They understand that if when other boy or child is crying, you are making this small kid, your child, to share. So that means they'll start thinking, yes, loud shouting, loud cries, loud wails will make the parents listen to our words. So then they use this same tool to blackmail us tomorrow when they grow a little older. So you don't want that to happen, right? So that is why have some patience, teach them slowly the concept of sharing. In fact, I have written a very detailed blog post about how to start teaching the concept of sharing to younger kids. I will give the link of that blog post in the show podcast show notes, which you can refer for further details. I hope you liked today's topic. Please do share your comments and thoughts. If you like these episodes, don't forget to share them with your friends and families, because your comments, your subscriptions are my only motivation behind running this podcast show. Please do rate it if possible. Thanks a lot. Have a wonderful day. Signing off, your host Suhasni from Mommy Show Musings.